this constant war between the Scottish Government and the UK Government over the last decade or so with the SNP and the Tories. Rachel Reeves comes out with her budget and we're all thinking, what are the SNP going to say about this? Because largely what they asked for has been delivered. There's been a few things that didn't happen, like the abolition of the two-child cap, but a lot of extra spending, a lot of extra taxes. And then, of course, the Scottish Government released their press release saying that it was a step in the right direction. And I think to anyone who's covered, Edinburgh, London over the last 14 years, that was a big, big departure. So the Scottish Government is about to get £3.4 billion of extra on top of the block grant.
Practically a declaration of "I love you." If USIV doesn't even begin to cover it, a step in the right direction is.
Yeah.
But I think John Swinney as well, he obviously, he comes from an economic background and he probably does recognise that it's, he would be doing it a disservice. Maybe he couldn't bring himself to criticise another economists.
I think what's interesting about it is that clearly I think the SNP probably had their press release and videos done on Labour continues austerity.
Yeah.
I think they had to delete those press releases, delete those videos and
scramble about and redo them.
Put together a new line. So the dynamic in Scottish politics has changed because I think we all expected the next election, 2026, to be about the SNP and saying how Labour had betrayed, broken promises, continued austerity. But
red Tories nonsense.
Yeah, it seems to be different now. I think it's maybe shifted to how the SNP actually spends the extra cash that they're going to get.
Well, exactly, and that's always the question, because even if Rachel Reeves has said, right, we're going to invest 22 billion in the NHS in England, Scotland will get 2 billion extra. Their Barnett consequentials. That does not mean that the Scottish Government has to spend that on the NHS. No. Exactly. So, and we have seen this many, many times before, where money has been provided to the Scottish Government on the back of UK Government policies on, for example, cladding remediation or a whole range of things, but then it doesn't get spent on the equivalent in Scotland. So it will be really interesting to see how much of that block grant is going to be spent on the NHS.
Where do you think it should be spent? Do you think what's the most pressing priority
in Scotland? I mean, controversially, I don't think it's actually that much different to anywhere else in the UK. I think the NHS is in a mess. I think social care is a riot, and also the education system. And being a nasty car user, I would say the roads are a complete state. Basic things.
NHS and local government, I think.
Yeah.